Hey, so, Johnny, why don't you introduce? Because I wouldn't know about Curt if it wasn't for you.
Well, I went back and thought about, where did I meet Curt? And I was actually on Facebook. And it was Pixie Dust commercial.
Oh.
And that was the moment I was like, gosh, that is a funny commercial. I'm going to reach out. And I reached out to him. We talked a little bit. And then, long story short, the agronomy world takes you a lot of different places. And then we saw each other again at a conference, made a couple phone calls. And then next thing you know, and I'll let you introduce your company and a little backstory there, because I think the name's very unique.
Thank you.
But with that, I mean, that's what it started. And I got in with Singular. I gave Curt a call, and I was like, how's life going? Next thing you know, I was like, we're going to be in Illinois. Let's do a podcast.
And here we are.
Yeah,
in 2
exactly.
weeks. and that's what that's what this platform was built on. It's just talking to people and sharing stories. And we're binging on how many farmers probably have undiagnosed ADHD that don't know how to solve life problems, and they feel all alone. But, I mean, dude, one avenue is just community and people around you that care about you and support you and want the best for you. And unfortunately in agriculture, that sector is very small.
It is. Can I also just add, I think, though, that, and I don't know how old you guys are, I'm 42, right? So growing up, ADHD had this stigma, too, where it's like, that was what the bad kids had, that, like, you put them on Ritalin and you never talk about it. Yeah, special needs, whatever, and, like, so even if you, like, got diagnosed and got on meds, there was this, like, shame associated with it. And I wasn't diagnosed until I was 40. Yeah, I think when I was 40. Because my son was having problems in school, and we were like, these are, behavioral issues, and we're like, so we go and we fill out the Vanderbilt assessment form, and it's like, holy crap, I've actually got this maybe worse than he does. Like, I'm literally filling this out for
Filling out your own form.
Yeah. But again, back in the day, it was like, put him on Ritalin and then never talk about it again, right? Yeah. Well, now it's like, it doesn't have to be a stimulant, it doesn't have to be Adderall, like it does. And so when we went to the doctor for my son, there's like other things, SNRIs. I don't know what that stands for. You have to ask my wife. She's a DNP, okay? But it's like it's a different kind of medicine for something else, but it's not a stimulant. And so I started on that, or I went to my doctor and I said, hey, I filled out the assessment. I think I've got this, like Elijah, and I'm not seeking a stimulant though. Like I wasn't, because those are controlled substances with the Adderall and all that crap. So it's like, that's not what I'm looking for. I just want to make this better. Like I want to be able to focus. And she's like, well, yeah, let's try it. So she put me on it, and honest to God, guys, within like 3 days, we were talking before, I could go on a walk with my wife and actually be present, because it's not like, voices in your head, plural, like, demons or whatever. It's like a singular voice that is a monologue that just doesn't stop. And like, I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I couldn't go back to sleep because my brain just, people think that I talk fast. So I think everybody else talks slow. Well, yeah. So fun fact about that. I'm going to bunny trail here. Most people can think.
It's okay. We had a podcast yesterday about a 30-pound rabbit. This is a great segue.
Most people can think at like 1,000 words per minute. Most people speak at like 200 words a minute. That's a problem, because then even a normal person, they start to wander off. Like if I go and sit in some sort of an ag presentation, it's awful, right? Because like you can't focus because your brain is off in right field. So I speak fast because my mouth is trying to keep up with my brain, and it helps keep people engaged most of the time when I present. Not always. Yes, sir.
How was school for you?
Oh God.
Was it torture?
There were parts of it that were. So here's the other. I tell my son when he tried to weaponize ADHD, he's like, "Dad, I have ADHD." I was like, "Shut up! It's a superpower." Because I'm like, it is. Because the problem then is like you also get the hyper focus side of it, right? So there are times where we talk about as like time traveling. So I'll look at the clock, like the kids will go to bed, Mel will go to bed, and I'm like working on something like the small grains formulation, right? That I've been talking about. I'm like, I'm working away on it, and it's like, holy crap, it's 2 a.m. But you just like time travel because you're so focused. Like when you find the thing that you're into, time ceases to exist, and you can go a mile deep.
Yep.
So there's 2 sides to it too, right? Like, but my whole deal is this, like, and we talked about this a little bit earlier. I'm so glad we've brought awareness to like the suicide prevention and farmers' mental health, but there are other elements to it beyond just let's prevent suicide. I mean, there's depression in and of itself, even if it doesn't lead to suicide. That's a thing, right?
Yes.
Anxiety, again, ADHD.
Think how much it helps their marriage.
What's that?
Think how much it helped their marriage.
Oh my
gosh. By opening up lines of communication.
Absolutely. So like in another case in point, my wife and her best friend was over today, and they were baking bread. My wife is the best bread maker on the planet, I swear. So her friend was coming over, and she's like, "Hey, like I want a big. We have some at home. You can have some of her bread at home. Okay?
I'll die. I'll bloat and die.
All right, let's go. Oh wait, you can't do that.
Yeah, literally. No. Yeah, no, it's not.
Well, they can have it and tell you how good it is.
I'm not protesting by deciding to just bloat and die. I would bloat and die.
Sorry. Well, you guys can have have it, right?
Yeah, I'll enjoy
Yeah.
it.
But she was saying her husband has like manifested some of the same things, and one of the clearest like ADHD things I ever saw on TikTok, right? So it comes on my TikTok all the time, and it was like an ADHD person listening to directions, and it's a whiteboard, and somebody writes like they tell you to do something, so like you write the thing down. They're like, oh, and I need you to take out the trash, do the dishes, do this, but instead of like making it a list, they just write over the first thing that was written there. There is one spot, right?
Gotcha.
There is now and there is not now, and I can't do a multi-step process. And our friend was saying, since I've started telling my husband, hey, I need you to take out the trash, he'll do it. He'll like take out the trash and it's done. But she used to say, this communication thing, this is where this how I got there. So she used to say, hey, I need you to take out the trash before tomorrow morning. Well, that's not now, right? There's now and there's not now. And when you give me a window that's that big, I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to forget about it. But when you can learn to communicate with your spouse and meet them where they're at, not just get pissy because like, oh, they didn't do what they said they do. Like she's like, it's actually improved our marriage because I can say, hey, would you do this right now? And she's like, and it's not like mean or demanding. And she's like, it's literally changed things, learning to communicate. But a lot of that's mental health crap. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, if you've liked the information that you've seen so far, go ahead and check out the full-length podcast on our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe there. It's also on all the major podcast platforms. We're constantly dropping info and more content on all the social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Check it out for a lot more content.